This story right here is crazy. Submersible heading to Titanic wreckage suffered catastrophic implosion. Here's what we know. Now, this was a story about the what they call it, OceanGate Titan, right? So the OceanGate Titan, these millionaires or billionaires paid $250,000 to get into a submersible and go down and look at the Titanic. Not to actually see it with their eyes, but to look at a screen of a camera outside of the submersible that's pointed at the Titanic. Now, there's a whole bunch of theories going on now. Were they actually on the submersible? I mean, were they actually in it? Is it just a storyline to create, to take headlines, to divert attention from something else? What do you think?
No, I think they was actually in it.
What makes you think that?
I for that point, I just don't feel like they. Well, damn, they're gonna say, well, they had plenty of reasons to lie.
Yeah, they always got
but
a reason to lie.
I just feel like they were actually in that thing, and they used that to get rid of those people that were in it.
What you mean?
Based on the articles behind it with the banking and stuff?
No, I'm saying, like, what makes you think they were on it? Just you think they just did something to go at them because they had some ulterior motive? Like these people had some type of money inside of something, possibly.
Possibly. That's what I think.
Is it possible that they faking their death? I mean, they are.
Why would they fake their death?
Well, when you got family, kids, and all that stuff, and you got a will, and you might just want to get away from them and not have them get none of your money.
What reason would the people that were in that, so allegedly, why would they have to do that?
People do that. Billionaires do that all the time. Just disappear.
Have the family members came out and said there was any turmoil or anything?
They don't have to say nothing. They would. I doubt they would.
Okay.
So obviously, y'all know the story. What's funny though is they sat around for where is it? They sat around for days, had a timer, because they said when they went down that they had 96 hours of air. By the time I saw the number, it was like 60 hours had already passed or something like that. You see right here, 30-minute intervals between banging noises encouraging signs Titanic crew still alive. Now they're telling you the whole time they're still alive. There's a timer and all this other stuff. But the Navy, go ahead.
Shantae said, I heard one of their kids were partying and posting on IG like it was nothing. That was the stepson.
Yeah, funny enough, when she brought it up, that was a billionaire stepson, and he didn't go to while they were missing and getting searched for, he went to a Blink 182 concert. That's the name of a group. And I found out that 182 stands for I Hate You. So the stepson went to a concert by a band with I Hate You.
Was that him subliminally sending shots?
I don't know.
Just like in these articles, the Titanic director, they kept pointing out that he went on 33 dives.
Also,
Freemason.
You talking about James Cameron?
Yes.
Now, James Cameron, he came out and said that he knew something was wrong when they said that communications and tracking both synonymously just disappear. He said that sounds like an implosion. That's the only way that would happen. So while the media for days was saying that they still can hear them, they still got air, we think they're still alive, the Navy, knew days before that they were dead. The Navy said that they heard what they thought was the implosion. They even told the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard knew. So the Coast Guard knew, the Navy knew. They all knew that it already imploded days before they were dead. Why did the media continue to push out they're still alive, there's whole timers? Was that to bring traffic to the website or a distraction?
Distraction.
What would they just what's the point of, they're dead? Now, did the networks know, or were they fed information? Were they told you're still alive, we can hear, and all this other stuff?
Well, they're fed information too.
Crazy. The Navy already knew, and they sitting there telling people this false hope. Also, during the search mission,
they all heard it and did nothing.
Exactly. During the search mission,
George said, sorry, why would the CEO of the company that does the submarine tour be driving the sub?
With a game controller. With a game controller for Xbox.
But they got on the shit. Allegedly.
Did they? That's my question. If I got $1 billion, I probably don't need to pay $250,000 to get into this ragtag tube.
But also, when you are when you are a billionaire, you do stupid stuff with your money and do stupid things
I
because
can
you're
just buy a
bored.
submarine.
That's true. But you gonna buy it and go down there by
I
yourself?
can buy a submarine and bring people with me. What's the point
Okay.
of getting on here when I could get my own? These are billionaires. This would be like a couple million for the $10-20 million for them. That's nothing. But OceanGate receives backlash for posting pilot job listing during Titan search and rescue efforts.
I mean, this position still got to be filled.
Damn, whoa. So if you're running a company,
Somebody die,
and no, they're not dead. You don't know they're dead yet, or at least the narrative is they're not dead yet. They're missing. You already trying to fill the position?
I'm like, well, let me go ahead and cover my bases just in case.
Wow, that's America.
Y'all act like life don't go on though.
That's capitalism for you. No emotions, just
so we're supposed to sit here and just
go.
But there's other people suffer when positions are open. The other employees suffer.
How they suffer?
Meaning they have to cover shifts.
Well,
they have to do certain things.
Dude that driving the damn submersible. This ain't working.
But they need somebody else to fill that position because
ain't nobody driving. They missing. You're not doing no business right now. It's no business going on at all.
Okay.
What's the point?
Someone on TikTok said there's a reason why there was no women in there because there wasn't a proper plan in place.
You said what?
Green the Fly says, sorry. Okay. Got more holes than a fish.
Okay, exactly. This don't make sense.
Fishnet.
And the narrative is always that when somebody is a billionaire,
to die with a ritual.
Yeah, I'm just saying. There's always a narrative that whenever someone's a billionaire, that they're intelligent. I know that's not always the case. Some people get very wealthy because of just natural skill, talent at something. They're not the smartest, but they can just get a lot of money. But you would think they would not get into this. I mean, you can look.
They're white, dude.
That don't mean nothing. Once again, you just said a while ago that they waste their money. Why wouldn't they waste more? Instead of spending $250,000, why not spend a couple million to buy something that you can do all the time? You can go down anytime you want. But anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna move past James Cameron. We just talked about him. We'll move on. By the way, since you're talking about
Freemason,
the Titanic. The last time, speaking of the Titanic, because that's what they were going down there to see, you saw James Cameron talking about it constantly. I saw an article that I got from another podcast where they were talking about the Freemason cover-up of the Titanic, the official sinking of the Titanic. And this article is written in 2015, the London Times. It says the far-reaching influence of the Freemasons over almost 200 years have been revealed after the secret archive containing the names of nearly 2 million members was opened to the public for the first time. The archive, which runs from 1733 to 1923, shows that Freemasonry had a foothold in every rank of the establishment, with the members ranging from royalty to politicians, and including judges, bishops, businessmen, senior military officials, and police officers. Freemasons were not just drawn from the privileged. The members of one lodge of Chiswick, West London, in the late 19th century included an ironmonger, estate agent, clerk, grocer, butcher, builder, whatever. The records, which are published online by the Genealogy Service Ancestry, include some of the best-known Freemasons. The suspicion was fueled yesterday by the suggestion that the inquiry into the sinking of the Titanic may have been influenced by Freemasons. The record showed that the judge who oversaw the bridge's wreck commissioned inquiry into the disaster. A number of leading investigators and some of those who escaped Caesar were all Freemasons. They included Lord Mercy, who oversaw the inquiry, Sidney Buxton, the president of the Board of Trade, which was exonerated by the investigation, two of the expert assessors, and Lord Peer, chairman of the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, which built the Titanic. So everyone involved in the Titanic situation was exonerated or cleared. And they were all just so happened to be 33rd degree Freemasons.
We're not surprised at all.
And another article that came out the next day in 2015, it says, was Titanic inquiry scoopered by the Freemasons? A new secret archive shows a high-level Masonic involvement in the inquiry into the sinking of the Titanic. Now, that was one of the bigger British stories that people feel like was covered by the Freemasons. And obviously, they were trying to control the headlines and how it was seen and viewed. It was meant to be seen as a sad story of a ship being sank by going through ice. or it was normal protocol for a ship to go full speed through thick ice and all that other stuff. I don't know how true that is. But another story that came out of this, remember in Britain, you had Jack the Ripper. The investigator for Jack the Ripper was a man named Robert Anderson. He also was a 33rd degree Freemason. And we all know the story of Jack the Ripper. They said that the investigation was botched or messed up. Some say it wasn't messed up. He purposely destroyed the investigation or made it useless because he had affiliations with Freemasonry. And the people who were doing the killings were Freemasons who were blaming it on some serial killer named Jack the Ripper. That Jack the Ripper was not a real person. It was a bunch of killings done by these Freemasons, and they were blaming it on this fake fictional character. How possible you think that is?
Is this a rhetorical question?
Yeah, it is. But another thing about that too, since I'm talking about Jack the Ripper right now. And over there was a house. You see 36 Craven Street in London. 36 Craven Street. That was Benjamin Franklin's house. Benjamin Franklin had a house with the address was 36 West Craven Street.
Shout out to Eastwood.
What up, Eastwood?
No coincidence regarding the presence of the Freemasons, aka Masons are free.
Exactly. Now, at this house, Benjamin Franklin's house, they found the remains of a bunch of people. I think it was around 15 skeletal bones, bodies at least, were found underneath the house. Now, they try to say that the bones belong to a friend of his who had an anatomy class where he taught people how the human anatomy. But why would the bones be underneath his house?
Just a coincidence.
Now there's some, and this is all just when you read up on this, people just spitball and throw stuff out there. Is it possible that Benjamin Franklin was one of the people responsible for the Jack the Ripper killings? I mean, you can go through this article. This is basically them going through why they say the bones was underneath his house and all the other stuff. But his address is crazy. 36 Craven Street. It just sound crazy. But anyway, that's enough conspiracy for now. Also, this right here, Titanic submersible makes OceanGate face a safety lawsuit in 2018, potential danger to passengers. So since 2018, they knew it was dangerous. These submersibles are already dangerous, but they still went down there.